Ree Drummond's stunning transformation into the pioneer woman. The world may know Ree Drummond as the pioneer woman today, but she first found fame in the early 2000s when she decided to write a blog. Not yet known by her nickname, she used her blog to write about both her life living on a farm and her fabulous cooking. Reading it, one would think Drummond has always been a country girl. It's a natural fit for the read. But in reality, Drummond is not originally from rural living. In fact, she lived in both the suburbs and the city before meeting someone in her mid-20s who changed her life. She then found herself in the place she was meant to be, starting her very well-known country lifestyle. Fans can find Drummond on television, read her best-selling books, and still check out that blog she has kept from the very beginning. She has had quite the life story so far, finding her way to the place she now calls home. So let's take a closer look at Ree Drummond's life and the stunning transformation she has experienced throughout the years. Ree Drummond had childhood dreams of being an actress. Ree Drummond was born as Anne Marie Ree Smith in 1969, and she grew up in Bartlesville, Oklahoma. She was a kid who had big dreams and constantly challenged herself, gaining new experiences in life. At a young age, she had plans for herself that would take her to different places away from home. Reminiscing about her childhood during an interview with People, she shared, "I always thought, there's a big huge world out there beyond this." One way in which Drummond was able to travel as a kid and see more of the country was through her ballet competitions. Dancing made her think about the entertainment industry and a possible future in show business. She noted, "When I was young, I wanted to be an actress. I had no idea what that meant, but I just thought it sounded fun." Little did she know then what the future held for her. Suburb girl ready for the city, the desire to be a part of the entertainment industry eventually led Ree Drummond to Los Angeles for college. As the New Yorker reported, the future star attended the University of Southern California, initially studying broadcast journalism. "I wanted to be Jane Pauley," she shared. After switching her major to the completely random gerontology, Drummond spent a lot of time enjoying her early 20s in the city, and she felt she fit in well and could picture a certain kind of future on the West Coast. "I'm pretty sure I could have ended up on Real Housewives of Orange County," she shared with People. "They need a fair-skinned Reed." But Bravo success wasn't in Drummond's future. She continued to work in Los Angeles for a couple of years. She then eventually headed back home in order to study for the LSAT and prep for her next life adventure. It was meant to be a pit stop before returning back to big city living. Ree Drummond tried vegetarianism for a spell. Although it might shock longtime fans to find out, there was a time when Ree Drummond wasn't a meat eater. As she revealed in her blog on the Pioneer Woman site, during freshman year in college, she suddenly decided to go vegetarian, and that was that. "I'm still, to this day, not sure why. I never had any real aversion to meat itself, nor was I necessarily against the practice of raising animals for the purposes of meat production, nor did I question the nutritive or health value of meat, nor was I ethically or morally opposed to the idea of eating meat," she admitted. The reality star doubled down on her comments in an interview with Closer Weekly, sharing it was only when, years later, a Jack-in-the-Box sourdough bacon cheeseburger caught her eye that she relented. "It was the best thing I'd ever put in my mouth," Drummond exclaimed. In fact, her chosen final meal would be beef tenderloin with cream spinach, sautéed mushrooms, and mac and cheese, as she told Taste of Home. "With bacon and caramelized onions," Drummond noted. "Kind of like my fancy mac and cheese." A cowboy changed Ree Drummond's plans. When Ree Drummond found herself back home after school, it was meant to be temporary. But the unexpected happened when 20-something Drummond went out to the bar with friends. As she described in her book The Pioneer Woman, "Black heels to tractor wheels, via today, that's when I saw him, the cowboy, across the room." She convinced herself that meeting this man didn't change the facts. She said, "I was headed to Chicago. To a new city. To a new life. I had zero business getting attached to anyone around there, let alone some wrangler wearing cowboy with salt and pepper hair." And yet, get attached is just what she did. She ended up staying in Oklahoma, and, at 27 years old, she married that cowboy in 1996. As she shared in an interview with People, "I didn't even know any cowboys growing up. When my friends heard that I was marrying a cattle rancher and moving to the country, they literally could not believe it. It was the beginning of something big." According to Drummond, "They started calling me the Pioneer Woman as a joke." Adjusting from the city to the country wasn't easy for Ree Drummond. Falling in love and marrying her cowboy wasn't the only unexpected surprise for Ree Drummond in her late 20s. She then went to live in a rural area near Pawhuska, Oklahoma. A lifestyle change that extreme, especially having come from spending years in Los Angeles, definitely affected Drummond, and it took her time to adjust. As she said, while speaking with the Associated Press, "It was kind of just love that got me out here, and then after we got married I thought, oh my gosh, what have I done? You know, where am I? And this is real. I live in the country." As time passed and the future star had more time to adjust to her new life, she realized how wonderful it was and how wrong her past stereotypes of the country had been. She told People, "I remember living in Los Angeles and coming home and eating lunch with my grandmother and her friends and just thinking, oh, their worlds are so small. After I moved back and actually started having regular lunches with them, I realized they were this amazing, dynamic group of women who got together and would debate issues.